All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us once again this evening to discuss issues concerning our psychological and emotional health. So today we are looking at the topic assertiveness. But please, before then, I want to find out if you can hear me.
Yes,
We
can
can hear
hear
you.
you.
I can hear you clearly.
All right, thank you very much. So, I want to also let us understand that this program is an initiative between Springboard, Ghana Psychological Association, and Mastercard Foundation under the Ghana Growth Project. And this is the care center where we meet and interact and discuss things about our health. My name is Kwesi Tagbor, and I'm part of the leads for the care center on the Ghana Growth Project. I want to acknowledge the organizers, everyone, our host, Madam Claudia, and everyone who is on this call this afternoon. So today we wanted to look at assertiveness. We talk about assertiveness. What is it? How can one become assertive? And what are some of the benefits? What practical steps can we put in place to be assertive? These are the few things looking at in the next 45 to 15 minutes. So before then, I want to hear from you. If you say assertiveness, what does assertiveness mean to you? If I can get some volunteers to share their views, what is assertiveness? What does that mean to you before we proceed? Anyone can volunteer to give us a response. Maybe one or two, and then we move on. You can unmute and speak. What does it mean to be assertive? Uh, Anyone can unmute and speak, please.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, please, you can speak.
Assertiveness is expressing your concerns or your feelings politely. That is what I can say about it.
Sorry, I got distracted. Can you please come again? Sorry.
I'm saying that I would say it is expressing your concerns or your feelings politely.
Okay, as to expressing your consent or feelings politely. Wow, that's great. That's great. Thank you for that, Madam Francisca. Yes, who else will want to add his or her voice to it? One, just one, and then we continue. What does assertiveness mean to you? Hello, there are people with.
This is Jackson Hochito.
All right, sir.
Yeah, I want to talk about assertiveness simply means to communicate clearly and directly and also set boundaries and express needs. That's what I want to add to that of Madam.
Good. Also set boundaries, express yourself clearly, and also set boundaries. Good. Thank you very much. And thanks for all the contributions that have come. Yes, so assertiveness, so all that you said is right, but maybe the first Francisca mentioned speaking politely, setting boundaries. Yes, but let's go into, and maybe at the end of the day, we reconcile all these aspects of the definition and see how what exactly assertiveness means. So you're saying that assertiveness involves standing up. Sorry, please, if you join, kindly mute. If you want to speak, then you unmute so that the distractions don't come. All right, thank you very much. So assertiveness involves standing up for your own right, but with respect for the right of others. So as you're expressing your concerns, clearly, you should also be concerned about the right of the other person who is listening, or the other person that you are having the conversation or the communication with. So, as you are standing up for your right, you also take into cognition the right of the other people. So, you are saying that assertiveness behaviors is about relaying your needs and requests in a straightforward manner, no ambiguities, while still providing an open and respectful dialogue. So even though as you are sharing your views, that doesn't mean that it is only your view that matters. Yes, your view matters, but the view of the other person also matters. So as you are speaking or giving out your feelings clearly, straightforward, you are making yourself open for negotiations as well in a respectful manner, and then knowing that the other person on the other side also has rights, they also have feelings, they also have emotions that they can express. So we are saying that by being assertive, you recognize that everyone has equal rights. Just as you have your right, the other person also has his or her right. So by being assertive, you recognize that everyone has equal, and the word there is equal right to express themselves. So it's not only about you expressing yourself clearly or setting boundaries for yourself, but also you should know that the other person also has the right to set boundaries and communicate clearly. So when you talk about assertive communication, what then is assertive communication? So assertive communication here is characterized by expressing your thoughts. So what is going through your mind? What are you thinking about? What is your opinion? So you're able to express your opinion, your thoughts, your feelings. How are you feeling about this particular thing you're saying? You should be able to express your feelings. Just as the first response gave us, expressing your feelings, your thoughts, and needs directly and respectfully, while also acknowledging the right and perspective of others. It involves finding a balance between being passive and aggressive. So there is a balance over here. Whilst you are trying to be assertive, you are trying to strike a balance between being passive and aggressive. We'll go into details when we talk about being passive and being aggressive. What does they stand for? What does it mean? How do you communicate passively, and how do you communicate that may be sounding aggressive? But the goal of assertiveness here is that we are able to communicate clearly and honestly without being confrontational or submissive. So your communication here, the person got the point you want to make. And that is your honest opinion, your feelings, that you're not hiding anything because of something. No, but you're opening up clearly to the person to know where you stand. And in this communication of your feelings, your thoughts, and your needs, it doesn't bring about confrontations. where emotions are up, tempers are flying all over. No, it doesn't bring about confrontation. At the same time, it doesn't make you look so submissive, as if you don't have a say. So if you see the image on this slide, they're saying that talking about assertive is about protecting your thoughts, ideas, territories, while respecting others' rights, feelings, and thoughts. So you can see a balance over here. Assertiveness is in the middle. On your right, where you see one person mentioned that trying to be respectful or being nice to people. So we have others over there. You are trying to either please the other person, or the way you're communicating to the other person that may end up making the person become aggressive towards you or whatever. Even in the on your left, you have the passiveness, where either you are compromising too much, and that will also. So what we are saying that assertiveness is to strike the balance between being passive and being aggressive, and communicate clearly your thoughts, your feelings, and your needs directly, without also compromising on the right of the other person. Why is assertiveness important? So you see, most of the times, we are unable to express our thoughts, feelings, or needs assertively because of how we see ourselves, our self-concept, that low self-esteem. When I say they'll talk about me, they'll complain about me, or they'll do this person will say this. So based on that, because maybe you don't want issues. So everything is that yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. So when you learn to be assertive, it helps you to enhance your confidence level, where you can speak boldly with confidence. Your esteem is raised when you learn how to communicate assertively. It also improves your communication skills, because as you are speaking clearly. You are speaking clearly and ensuring that the other person hears you well. And you don't even feel guilty. You don't feel guilty or feeling as if you've caused some harm because of what you've communicated. When you learn how to speak assertively, your communications are clear without no ambiguities in there. So it improves your communication. As Mr. Hochito mentioned, it helps you to set healthy boundaries. Yes, it helps you set healthy boundaries, because you know when to do what, and everybody around you knows how you are. So they know that this man, if you go to him with this thing, he's not going to agree, because they know this is how you are. So it helps you set the boundary. Maybe some odd hours, somebody's asking to do something at times that you are not comfortable with. Everybody just comes. So you don't even have time for yourself. You are pleasing people here and there. If you are not assertive enough, you always be going through stress and even burn out, because you are not able to set boundaries. But assertiveness skills help you to set healthy boundaries. It helps you to advocate for your rights and your needs as well. So you know what you need at what time, and you know your rights as well. It helps to foster respectful relationships, good relationship. Yes, because you're able to communicate clearly without not necessarily offending, but without confrontations, and also without feeling guilty or feeling as if you are hurting the other party. So when you speak assertively, you're able to keep healthy relationships. It also helps you to manage conflict very well, because you communicate straightforward, clearly what your thoughts, what your minds are, how you feel about a particular thing. So if there are even conflict over there, it helps you to manage it properly. Once you speak, it's like there is a way forward. Handling difficult conversations where you are finding it difficult to make decisions. Assertiveness skills will help you make decisions so easy, so simple. Also helps to improve your listening skills, because in assertiveness, listening is very paramount. You have to listen to be able to make meaning out of what the person is saying. You know, sometimes we end up jumping to conclusion as the person start talking, or we feel we know what the person is about. Then we jump into conclusion and start giving our own verdict, which maybe that is not what the person is thinking about. So if you're able to learn these skills, equip ourselves with these skills, it helps us to improve upon our listening skills as well. And then it helps reduce our stress level, and even the worst form it is burnout. If you are very assertive, that is because you're able to set healthy boundaries, you're able to put things into perspective, you're able to organize yourself very well, and you at the time, things that you should be saying no, you know where to say no, things that you should be accepting, you know where to accept those things. And at the end of the day, it helps you to promote your general well-being when you're able to communicate assertively. Same way. So if you are assertive, but one thing I want us to understand is that assertiveness is not about being arrogant, to being rude or whatsoever. Because I think from the beginning, when we go forward, we also look more into what it means over here. But we are saying that you are respectful to the other person as well. So being assertive, it helps you to earn the respect of people because of that boundary you set yourself. People get to know you and appreciate you for who you are. So it helps you to earn other people's respect. They know that no, this man, when he says yes, it is yes. When he says no, it is no. And it's for a good reason. It helps to increase your self-esteem. And as I mentioned, your self-confidence is boosted. So it helps to increase your self-esteem. It reduces anxiety and stress. Whereas you are feeling so anxious about it, you've given a response to someone, and after the person has left, you are feeling so guilty, so anxious that, hey, this thing that I've said now, how is this person thinking about it? Hey, is he thinking that I'm wicked because you said a no to a request and the person has left? Hey, am I not being too harsh? Am I not being so you'll be feeling that kind of way if you're not assertive, you'll be feeling bad after communicating your mind. So you're saying that this skill will help you to reduce those anxieties that come after you've communicated. So it reduces anxiety and reduces stress. It helps you to find out win-win solutions. So when there are conflict, you're able to come into compromise and come to a conclusion or a solution that is going to help both parties, helping you at the same time, helping the other person. So it's not only about assertiveness, is not about self-centeredness. It's not about just you and you alone. No, you consider the other person as well. And it helps you become a good manager because you're able to manage your own life. And if you are in the hands of affairs, you're able to manage things very well if you are assertive. So these are some of the benefits of being assertive. So what assertive is not? So you look at what assertiveness is in brief. What is assertive? What is the opposite? So assertiveness does not involve one, manipulation or manipulating people. Talking about being assertive, it doesn't mean you should manipulate people. It doesn't mean you should be that submissive, overly submissive to the extent that people are trampling over you almost every now and then. At the end of the day, you go into your closet and go and cry. Assertiveness is not about being submissive. It is also not about being aggressive towards people. It is also not about being passively aggressive. So let's pick them one after the other and see what goes. If somebody is being manipulative, submissive, aggressive, and passive, let's see what goes in there. So the manipulative. So this occurs when people attempt to have their needs met by making others feel guilty or sorry for them. There are people who have those abilities. When they want to communicate, or if anything, they always make the other person feel bad. Something that they need, they'll make you feel guilty or feel sorry that you didn't do this thing for them. That is manipulation. It's like blackmailing. You blackmail someone. That's manipulation. So when you attempt to have things to yourself by making other people feel guilty or sorry for themselves because of what you want them to do for you, you should know that you are being manipulative. And that is not assertiveness. So if you are manipulating people, you feel, oh, I'm assertive. No, that is not assertive. That is manipulation. So those who manipulate often take on the role of a victim. So they always make themselves feel like they are victims over here. Meanwhile, they are manipulating the person, making people squeeze the blood out of themselves just to please you or make things possible for you. So that is not assertiveness. Manipulating people doesn't make you assertive. So let us get this point as well. When we talk about being passive, what does being passive mean? Giving in to others' preferences while ignoring your own rights and or needs. So like someone will say, maybe I don't want issues. So anything, all right. So that this person is always okay, okay, okay. They always give, even if what they are admitting to or what they are accepting does not even favor them. It will make them go through pain and all those stuffs. They just can't speak out.
Yeah, class. Yeah, class.
All right, thank you for muting. It doesn't, even though the things are going against you, you seem to ignore your own rights and your needs just to please other person. So when being submissive, you do not let others know what you are thinking or what you prefer. You really don't prefer what the treatment they are taking you to, but you can't just speak it. That is submissiveness. You are very, like, you know that this thing it will not help me. If I take this decision, if I should do this thing, the end result is not going to be good. You know very well, but how to communicate it? Maybe because of the person involved, you are so scared. So sometimes you even feel guilty when you express your feeling that, hey, this thing that I've said, I don't know going to use it against me. So you rather keep quiet, and people will be pouring everything on you. Even sometimes some accusations that you know nothing about, you end up accepting it and saying that yes, it's you. Meanwhile, you know very well that you have no idea about it, but someone will tell you that for the sake of peace, let me just take it like that. And that label is on you that you have done the thing. Meanwhile, I didn't do it. That is very, very poor assertiveness, actually. So we are saying that when being submissive, you do not let others know what you are thinking or what you prefer. Often you feel guilty when you do express your feelings. And then let's look at aggressiveness. People who are aggressive, thinking they are assertive. So that is directly standing up for personal rights. Yes, aggression, this person comes, they know they are right very well. They know they are right. But they stand up for their personal rights and expressing their thoughts, feelings, and belief in ways that is often dishonest. This person, the person who is speaking aggressively like this, yes, they are speaking their minds. They are communicating their feelings, what they believe in. But they do this thing dishonestly, usually inappropriate, and always violate the right of the other person. So they don't really care what the other party will go through based on what they are saying. So they can just say anything that comes to mind. They just say without thinking about the feelings, the emotions that the person will go through upon hearing what they are saying, or after expressing their beliefs or their opinions. They really don't care about the other person. And you are saying that assertiveness is not just about communicating what you want, but also taking cognizance of the other person's their own rights. So you are not, make sure you don't trample upon the right of other people when you are communicating. So don't violate the right of the other person just because you want to communicate clearly, or that is aggression. So in that way, you say you are being aggressive. Then you have the passive aggressive. Being passive aggressive involves concealing your true emotions towards a person or event and instead expressing anger in a contradictory way. So this one is like you think it seems to be confusing how you feel. You know this thing, you don't agree with this opinion or this thing that they are saying or what they are asking you to do. Instead of expressing it, you rather come with anger. So it's like this person expresses their disagreement with anger. Instead of saying that, no, this thing I don't like it, or I don't agree with this thing, or this is how I feel about the thing, they would rather go and express anger in that regard. So if you see the Venn diagram over here, you are seeing that what you want with what others want, the in-between. So what you want, that's aggression. How are you communicate what you want? Yes, you are expressing your feelings, your thoughts, your beliefs. What do the other person want? So if you are just trying to please the other person, then that is meaning you're in the passive side. If you only want to just meet just your needs without thinking about the other person, then you're being aggressive. So assertiveness is trying to bridge these two elements, bridge the aggression and the passiveness, so that you can have a compromise where the two sides are able to meet each other halfway and things will go well. So we are talking about what can you do to be more assertive. One, those who joined our lesson last week, we went through some of these lists. Knowing your rights. There are some rights that every human being is supposed to know. And knowing these rights helps you to build on your assertiveness skill, because every human has rights. But these are some rights that we often forget, where we don't put them into practice. And we are saying that, one, every human being has the right to ask for what they want. So you should know these are foundations. If you know these foundations, if you know your rights, the foundation of being assertive, because you know that you always have the right to ask for what you want. Two, you have the right to say no to requests or demands that you can't meet. You also have the right to express all your feelings, your thoughts as well, your beliefs, positively or even negatively. So whether you're not, if the negative feelings, if you're not okay with something, you have the right to communicate it. I don't feel okay with what you are doing to me. You have the right to communicate it. And the same with the positive one, yes, I'm very pleased with what you just said about me. You also have the right to change your mind. You have the right to make mistakes and not be perfect. Last week, we discussed that into details. You have the right to follow your own values and beliefs. You also have the right to determine your priorities. What is your number one priority? You have the right to do all those tasks. Then you have the right to own personal space and time. So these are fundamental human rights that we don't see in the legal document, but these are rights that will help us to be assertive, that will make us confident enough, will build upon our self-esteem, so we're able to express our minds, our feelings, our needs clearly without actually being confrontational or being submissive. No, but there are times that there are some barriers, some things prevent us from expressing ourselves assertively. So these are some points that have been identified. So self-defeating beliefs has been recognized as one of the barriers to assertiveness, why people are not able to be assertive. Beliefs that are unrealistic and negative self-statements. The people who they don't see anything good about themselves. Always is that negative self-talk. And I am not this, and I cannot do this. I'm good for nothing. I am this. So these self-defeating beliefs about oneself, if you think that for you, your opinions don't matter, Meaning people will always impose their opinions on you and you'll not be able to communicate it because you think your opinion don't matter. You think for you, you are good for nothing. If those thoughts are there, you think you are good for nothing. People will also tend to use you in, excuse my language, like rags, where they will clean their dirty feet on you.
Sorry.
So we are saying that those negative self-talks, self-beliefs, or self-defeating beliefs prevent us from communicating assertively. So oftentimes we are not aware of when we think negatively towards ourselves and how this affects our behavior. The more positive we think, the greater our self-esteem will be. And the more negative we feel, the more lower our self-esteem will be, and the more we'll be going through the emotional pains, stress, and the likes. Another barrier to is the skills deficit. Many skills needed to become assertive. See, these things are not taught in schools. I don't think the basic school they'll teach you the concept assertiveness. No. So we feel we don't really have the skills to be assertive. And one reason why some of this training is helpful. So we'll be learn some of these skills because these are things you not really get from the classroom. So many skills needed to become assertive aren't taught to us in schools. So we lack the verbal and the non-verbal skills to become assertive. And this becomes barriers because you lack this thing, they become barriers. So going forward in the slide, we'll look at some practical ways to overcome these barriers. Another barrier to is anxiety and stress. Even though we may know how to be assertive, stress and anxiety may become barriers to implementing these behaviors. So by managing everyday stresses, assertive behaviors will become easier to implement. Because sometimes you try to be assertive, but at the end you end up going through some stress. And maybe because you were not too confident in what you were expressing at the beginning. But sometimes with some cultural issues, some cultural factors also influence or becomes barriers to expressing ourselves. So let's take it for example, culturally, if an adult has done something or is saying something that is not right in the Ghanaian culture, if an adult is saying something, maybe they are having a gathering or a meeting or something like that. You, the child, you don't have the right to talk. So, or whatever they are saying about you is not true, but because this is an elderly person, culturally, you can't make the elderly person wrong. So you keep quiet on it and suffer. So in some cultures, assertiveness is not valued as much as it is in the Western societies. If this is the case for you, it is helpful to understand the benefit of being assertive while comparing it to being non-assertive, aggressive, or passive. So there are situations, even in some homes, like what the man says is final. You as the woman, you really, because they said that the man is the head of the house. So even the man is making decisions that are not right, since he is the head of the house, the decision is binding on everybody. So even though you are not comfortable with that decision, because the man of the house has spoken. So based on some of these things, culturally, it makes it difficult for us. Even sometimes, based on your religion or your faith, there are some things that maybe you could have communicated or disagree with, but because of where you find yourself, it becomes difficult to express how you feel about some decision. Let's say your head pastor has taken a decision that you really, really don't agree with. But who are you to challenge the head pastor's issue, whatever they say? So some of these cultural influences sometimes becomes barriers to how we express ourselves. So let's look at some components of behaviors addressed in assertiveness training. So let's look at the nonverbal behaviors. So if somebody is non-assertive, what are some of the behaviors they may put up for you to realize that this person is not assertive? Using the non-verbal cues. So the non-verbal is characterized by moving away behaviors, examples, down, like the person who bring down their head as they are talking. They don't want to look straight into the other person's face. So their head is always on the ground, looking down as they are communicating. So this person doesn't have the confidence to speak. The confidence to speak is not there. So most of the time, as they are talking, their head is on the down, is down as they speak. This can be a sign that this person's confidence level is low and the assertiveness is also low. Sometimes you can see that they'll be shifting their weight, their bodies, wriggling of the hands. So sometimes you realize that this person will be fidgeting with their hands as they are communicating, fidgeting, like they turning the body as if they are spinning the body. They can't just, or sometimes moving the legs, or some of those nonverbal behaviors. I think we've been seeing them, giggling tones and the like. So sometimes some of those, so as you are speaking and you present some of these things, it may be an indication of low confidence in what you are saying and shows poor assertiveness. If somebody is communicating aggressively, some nonverbal skills we can also see can be glaring eyes. So the way they look into your eyes, it's like sometimes even it can even scare you. That glaring of eyes, leaning forward. So as maybe they are sitting in their office and you are speaking, they lean forward, kind of as if they want to look directly into your eyeballs and pointing fingers at you. Raise their voice. They may raise their voice and kind of the tone they use when they are speaking to you, those high tones, those are not, the person may think they are just communicating their thought, but some of these features will alert you that this person is being aggressive. So even you yourself, when you notice that your tone is rising, you are pointing fingers directly into the person's eye, the kind of glaring you are giving to the person can be scary. Yourself, you have to quickly hold yourself and know that you are being aggressive over here. And then talking about someone who is assertive, what are some of the non-verbal behaviors you can see? So there'll be that appropriate eye contact. So it's like it's not continuously looking into the person's eyeballs. No, you look more and it's like you move away. Kind of, it should be appropriately done. You are not fidgeting too much. Your tone of voice is also steady. You are speaking firmly. You speak firmly, not breaking voices. Or even if you are standing, you're not spinning yourself, fidgeting of hands and all those stuff. Some of these could be some behavioral features we can see. Can you please mute for us? Listen, who joined now? All right, thank you. Then let's look at some verbal languages. Someone who is not assertive, they may be using some words like maybe they are not sure of what they want to say. I guess this is the right decision I'm making. I wonder if you could help me do this thing. No, you want a person to help you do something, just speak clearly. But instead, I wonder if you can help me do this thing. You are not clear, you are not communicating anything. Would you mind very much? Don't you think it is good if you do this? If you think that it is good to do this, communicate clearly that it is good, not that don't you think it is good. So these are some key, we do use some of these things almost every day in our communication. But we are trying to understand that it only shows non-assertiveness. Sometimes you'll be using some fillers, like some words like or well, you know. Sometimes people who return from the foreign land, those communicate, but I don't see people who communicate who use those slangs are not assertive enough. But these are some examples we can be looking at. Sometimes they use these negators. It's not really important. As they're communicating, like you feel what they're communicating, you'll say it verbally that, oh, it's not really important. Oh, that doesn't matter. Oh, don't mind. Meanwhile, they mind, but they'll tell that, oh, I don't mind. If it is aggression, you see the person putting out some threats words, will try to pull you down or like bring your spirit down. Whatever you say, they're trying to evaluate your comment and deduce certain things from it and use it against you. Sexist or racist terms, things that will say that to get to you, that you feel bad, you feel less of yourself. These are the words that they are going to be using. And the other person, for them, they feel they have spoken or they've said their mind, but that the other person at the receiving end ends up going through emotional stress upon listening to or hearing them speak. But talking about assertiveness, we are saying that the use of I statement. So if it is you who is communicating, I want this, I feel this way, I need this. Cooperative words. So words, things that you say that to bring agreement between you and the person, where the person, we mentioned from the beginning that the person will not feel bad, not really, like there'll be no confrontation. And you yourself, you will not feel guilty upon taking that decision. So use words that will bring about that cooperation and be emphatic with your statement. Communicate clearly what you really want. And then let's look at how to communicate. Here are some practical skills that we can. So let's begin by making requests. So if you want to make a request, you are saying, be clear about what you want. If it is money, communicate it clearly that I need money. If it is not money, whatever it is, communicate clearly. Listing for alternatives or compromises. So if you have requested what you want, and the person, don't always think that once you request, it must come. Listen to what the person is going to also give you. Is the person having what you want? So we are saying that listing for alternatives or compromises. And then don't say no to yourself and don't apologize. So as you are trying to come to compromises and maybe the other person is not able to meet your request, then you come and say, oh, I'm sorry for making you feel this way. No, no, no. If you requested for something the person doesn't have, it's okay. So why are you apologizing that you've come to disturb the person? Oh, I'm sorry for making you feel this way because I've come to ask you money and you couldn't get it from me. Don't downplay the importance of what you are requesting. If you downplay what you are requesting, the person also trivializes it and don't give it to you. You may be thinking the person doesn't like you, but it may not really be. So it's because you didn't communicate clearly. Handling criticisms. Handling criticisms. So practically, I'm saying that when someone is criticizing you or saying something about you, number one thing is relax and listen to what the person is saying. You first listen. Because maybe when you listen, it helps you to know how to respond. But if you do not listen and you just want to jump into conclusion, you may end up not understanding what the person is saying, and then there anger and other stuff will come in. So if the person have communicated, you can paraphrase to be sure what the person have said you've heard. Is that avoid long, self-critical or rational excuses. When you are told that you've done something that didn't go well, trying to explain yourself plenty just to justify why you did what you did. You are saying no. And don't be giving some irrational excuses for what you've done. Stick to the issue. So what the person is saying, stick to that particular issue that the person is saying and avoid counterattacks. Maybe you go and bring something from elsewhere and coming to use to justify yourself. Let's talk about the issue that is on the desk or is on the table. That is what is important. Ask for examples and suggestions. Use I statements. Share your feelings about the criticism. So I feel unheard based on what you're saying. Maybe I wasn't given the opportunity to speak. So I feel unheard. You don't say that you can't talk to me like this. You didn't give me the space to or the chance to say my mind. Once you are using the you word, the other person will also come to counter it, and there'll be aggression. But if you are using the I statement, you are talking about yourself, how you are feeling about what the person is saying. So it's about how you feel. So I don't feel comfortable with what you are saying. And I say that keep your voice low and speak slowly. When somebody is criticizing you, just be steady. Sometimes if you are not careful, you realize that you start speaking on top of your voice because, and one thing you should know that once you start speaking on top of your voice, meaning anger is boiling up. Speaking loud or on top of your voice could be that you are getting angry. So you are saying that keep your voice low, steady, like let it be your normal way of speaking. And speak slowly. Don't try to speak too fast. You may end up getting angry. Saying no. Sometimes it's difficult to say no to some things because maybe the person who we are saying the no to is a high-profile person. So how do we say no if you are exhausted? How do you say no to a request that you feel you can't meet? One, think it over first. When they give you when the person is asking to do this, first think through it. Listen to what the person has said. If possible, ask for time to consider your opinion. Remember that you are right. You have the right to your own time and space. So if you think responding here and now will not be okay for you, you have the opportunity to ask for time to consider the decision or your decisions and give your response. Don't be in haste to just respond over there. So let me get back to you with my response. Then, if you want to now give your response as in the no, just be brief. Give your explanation for your answer, but not an excuse. When we go next, we'll see some practical examples to that. Be brief, give your explanations for your answers, but not an excuse. It may help to mention your feelings and thought about the request. So how you feel about the person's request, feel free and then mention it or say it, how you feel about the request. Don't forget, you can always change your mind. So you can always change your yes to a no. You can same time change a no to a yes. And you're saying that saying no doesn't mean you should feel guilty. Maybe you're so exhausted, you've been working the whole day and somebody's adding up onto your work again. You feel so exhausted. And somebody's now coming to add a new one to it. You say, no, So communicate, I feel so stressed up now. I feel so tired. I even feel dizzy. I feel hungry now, or I am hungry. So unfortunately, I can't do this for you now. Maybe you can renegotiate another time. And don't feel guilty for saying no. And when you also want to criticize someone, when somebody is criticizing you, you get angry. What about when you are criticizing someone? Do we think about that one? So in criticizing someone, we are saying, plan in advance what you want to say. Shouldn't just come to mind and then start attacking people. You may not reason through what you want to say. So let's say, plan in advance what you want to say. Use examples. Don't overload the person. So the criticism will come one at a point. Don't say this one and then be referring to other previous ones and be giving the person, speak directly what you are criticizing about the person. And then also give positive feedbacks. Concentrate on the problem, the issue you are talking about. Set aside an appropriate time and place, especially in relationships. You want to criticize, and at the time, maybe your partner is so tired and all those stuff. No, when a person is relaxed, you can go in with what you are saying. But if the person is tired, aggression can happen at any time. Maintain eye contact, look and sound serious. Let's look at some languages or some words some sentence people use. When you're accusing someone against what should have been done. So accusing languages and then assertive language. So example, for the accusing language, this aspect is non-assertiveness. And this is going to cause aggression or misunderstanding. So the person says, I want you to stop making me feel so angry. So as you're having some issues with the person, and you start saying, I want you to stop making me feel so angry. Assertiveness is saying that you can use in that same way. I felt really upset and hurt with what you are saying. So it's about how you are feeling about what the person is saying. But if you are pointing it to the person, the use of you, I want you, to mean you are commanding the person to stop doing a particular thing. But I think in assertive language, you are expressing how you rather feel about what the person is doing. So you come in and said, I feel really upset and hurt with what you are doing or what you are saying. I'm not comfortable with what you are saying. So you're expressing how you feel about the thing. Another example, accusing language. I feel that you don't care about me. This is what you are saying. So far as the you is coming up there, meaning it's like you are pointing figures into the eyes of the person, or you are commanding or something like that. You are saying in assertiveness, let's use more of the I statement. So instead of saying, I feel that you don't care about me, you can say, I feel lonely and disconnected from you. That is how you are feeling. I feel lonely and disconnected from you. Another example, accusing language is, I want you to not be so mean. Meaning the person is mean to you, or doing things that mean the person is mean. You are saying no. Instead, say, I want to be treated with kindness. That is what you want. So the person is being mean. Tell the person what you want. So I want to be treated with kindness, not what the person should do, but what you want. The next one, I wish you wouldn't be so annoying and loud. So maybe you are in a room or a compound house, and this person is making noise almost every now and then. You can't even concentrate. And you wanted to communicate that. And you said, I wish you wouldn't be so annoying and loud. The person definitely get angry and issues will come up. So instead, you're saying that speaking in assertiveness language, he said, I've had time focusing when there is loud noise. So you don't feel okay when there's loud noise. So you try to tell the person that you actually have hard time focusing when there is loud noise. So the person over here will know what you are communicating, and they may want to help you out. And then the last one here is, I would like for you to stop bossing me around. This is also an example of communication that may not be helpful. So instead, I would prefer to make my own decisions about this, but not saying that the person is controlling or bossing you, but tell the person that you want to make your own decisions about what is going on. So these are some practical examples. And this I also want to hear from you. So saying no, practice. So we are saying that remember the importance of your rights and beliefs. Think about the other. Please, can you on mute? Yes, there is interference. All right, thank you. Remember the importance of your rights and beliefs. Think about the other person's request, acknowledging their request, and say no firmly when explaining your reasons. So, example, I understand that you really like to get together this night. Probably maybe you and your friend, maybe your partner, something like that. And you wanted, this is what the person is requesting from you. I understand that you really like to get together tonight. It turned out I've had a really long day and feel exhausted. So you see that, let's look at the component of this aspect. So first, you are acknowledging or appreciating the request of the person. The person wants for you guys to go out. So you acknowledge the person's request. I understand that you would really like us to get together this evening. Now you are explaining why you cannot go. Now, it turns out I've had a really long day and feel exhausted. This explanation you are giving. I had a very long day and feel exhausted. So I have to say no. So you've communicated clearly. So you've acknowledged, you've explained, and you've decided. So now this is an example I want to hear from you to tell me what you will do in this instance. So you are in the bank and the teller asks for the next customer in line. Although it is your turn, someone else steps forward. If it is you, how will you communicate this thing? Anyone with me should unmute and share his thoughts with us. You are in the queue in a banking hall, and it is your turn, but the teller is calling the next person. And you want to communicate that no, that you are not going to tolerate it. How will you communicate it using the assertiveness skills here? You are saying that acknowledge the request, give your explanation, and decide. So I want someone to unmute and share his thought with us briefly. Oh, do I have some followers? Hello, can I be heard?
Hello, we can hear you. Yes.
Yes, please. I need some views.
So, for me personally, I would rather talk to the person who crossed by asking, I'm sure you are in a hurry more than me.
Okay. Oh, she has dropped.
Please, did you hear? I don't know
I think,
whether
yeah,
it
you
went.
went off. So yeah, so come again.
So I'm saying that I would rather talk to the person who crossed me, not the teller,
Okay,
by making a statement. I'm sure you are in a hurry more than myself.
okay. Then what next? But right now,
Then
we
I'll
want to say no here. Like you want to prevent the person because you are equally in hurry. So you want to prevent the person from overtaking you. That's what we are doing. So how will you communicate that? So if first you acknowledge that the person is in hurry, okay. Then what next?
Then after that, I'll tell you, I was here before you, so it's my turn. But it
Okay.
will also depend on the response from the person, the feedback.
Mm. So the person to say that, but is the cashier that has called me.
It's a mistake.
Okay, let's hear from
Other
others.
people
Yes, let's
and
see what they will say.
Eh, Hello.
Yes, hello.
Yes. For me, I would say in a calm and clear tone, and then making eye contact with the person and letting the person know I'm like this. Excuse me. I believe I was next in line. I think that will be able to resolve it.
Okay. But right now
Hmm.
is the cashier who is calling the person. But yeah,
Okay.
is the cashier that has called the person.
Okay.
Yes. So the statement is that you are in a bank and the teller asked for the next customer in line. Although it is your turn, someone else stepped forward. Okay. Okay. So it's not about the cashier calling, but they said next, and then the person who is behind you has come to cross you. Aha.
Hmm.
Yeah, so
So to the cashier is the same thing.
yes, yes,
Sorry. I believe I was next in line.
it's
To
okay.
the cashier will be able to resolve that, I think.
It's okay. Okay. Can I get a last one? I have one response in the chat. Yes, better. Better.
Okay,
Yes.
so I would say that I understand you are in a hurry, but I've been here long before you. So, no, let me go first.
Great. Great. So now let's look at the three components of better's response. The first aspect.
Okay,
Mhm.
Sir Jones,
Yes, sir.
before you proceed, I want to know if the customers are in queue.
Mhm. Yes,
Are they
customers
in
are
queue?
yes, they are in queue. You are in queue, but
Okay.
when they said next, this person who is behind you just came to cross you.
So to me, I may say sorry, though you are on hurry.
Mhm.
We follow a queue.
Good, good. So now I really appreciate this last one. So the first one, you acknowledge the person being in hurry. Then you give your explanation and you give your decision. So the responses that is coming now, we are trying to avoid argument or confrontations. You are communicating clearly. So yes, you appreciate. Oh, I can imagine how much you are in hurry or how you wish to finish up and leave. You acknowledge the person's uh, what the person wanted to do. Then you explain. However, I've been here since morning. I have work, or I'm also behind time. So please, it is my turn to go instead of you. That way, you've explained and you've decided. Famous has given a response in the chat box. He said, I would say sorry to the step. But famous, why are you saying sorry? I'm sure you are in rush, but I will not take long. Oh no, you see, famous, so in assertiveness, you are not sorry for anything. You didn't do anything wrong. You are just communicating, letting the person know that it's not his or her turn to come in there. So why is he jumping the queue? So you acknowledge that he's in hurry, but you let him also understand that you are equally in hurry. So for that matter, you can't give that. You can't agree for him or her to go. Let's look at another one. So making a request. Making a request. This is an important step in becoming assertive. When making requests, you simply have to ask in a straightforward manner. Always be sure to use assertive and respectful. So let's also be mindful of the word respectful. Non-verbal behavior. Stay calm. When asking, try to have only one request at a time and be specific about what it is that you would like, Remember to use I statement as previously discussed. And then never be apologetic. So famous, as you're also making your request, you are not apologetic for standing for what is right. So tell the person that I'm sorry, you can't go. Why are you sorry? For what? Let's look at this example. So Michelle would like to study in a quiet place, but her boyfriend John tends to distract her with loud music and activities that can be done elsewhere. If you were Michelle, how would you request that John be more conscientious of your rights? This is a question. No, I want responses. This is the time for us to interact. We are almost done. So you are studying.
The question again.
Yes. So let me tell you, it's a scenario. Michelle would like to study in a quiet environment, but her boyfriend, John, tends to distract her with loud music and activities that can be done elsewhere. So I mean the things that John was doing could have been done elsewhere, but he prefers to do that thing at the place Michelle was studying. So you're asking, if you were Michelle, how will you request that John be more conscientious of your rights? And you're saying that remember to evaluate your rights and consequences of the actions, and then express your request directly. So how will you express this? How should Michelle communicate this thing to John? Is the scenario clear?
Very clear.
Yes. I have some interesting comments in the chat box. We'll look at them later. Okay, if it's about Michelle, let's talk about you. You are in a room where you want to concentrate to maybe do an assignment or something, and then your roommate is playing loud music. How will you communicate this?
I want to try.
Yes, please.
Yes, so I'll say, I'm sure I know you are so excited today and want to have fun, but I have exams next week. So would you please excuse me?
Okay, you've done well, but you haven't mention how you feel about the music he's playing. So in between, try to communicate how you feel.
Okay, so
One,
I know
you've
you are
acknowledged it.
excited, or
Good.
today is your happiest day, but I have exams next week, and the loud noise is distracting my learning.
So you can either say that I feel distracted when
Okay,
loud
okay,
noise. So yes,
okay.
so I can really see
That
you are really
expresses more.
excited. I can really see you are really excited and you're enjoying music. But I feel very
I
distracted
feel distracted.
with the loud music. Maybe
Okay.
if you may relocate or if you can use an earpiece,
What is
yes, so that it doesn't distract me. So you are telling the person how you feel.
feel?
So you acknowledge, appreciate what the person is doing. So you are not trying to just say you are disturbing me. The person may tell you that, are you the only person in the room? And it will become confrontational. So you acknowledge that, oh, I can, maybe the person is enjoying nodding his or her head and dancing, even singing along. So meaning they are in good mood. Then you acknowledge the mood in which they are. Then you express how you feel politely to them. So with this, you come to compromise. The person either will now use a headset or whatsoever means they can do to also allow you to study. Okay, Adjoa has sent her, he said, yeah, this is June, sure. I can see you are enjoying your music. One, that's acknowledgement. But I feel distracted by your music. Good. So you have expressed your feelings. Can you take your music to the other room? So this is a request. I mean, you're making a request, direct one. This is also perfect way. So because we mentioned that in the scenario, it is stated that this thing that the person is doing can be done elsewhere. So with Adras or Madam June's response, perfectly fits in here because there's an alternate way. Then the person can go and play this music in the other room or elsewhere. So that is a good one. Gifty says, yes, I appreciate you making me happy, but I feel I needed a quiet space for learning. Okay, so what should the person do? Now you've acknowledged, you've said how you feel, but I didn't request. So now you have the third aspect is you must not put in the request. So that is what to communicate what you wanted. So there are three components of communicating this thing. First, you acknowledge what the person is doing. Second, you express your feelings. And then the third, you make your request known to the person. So can you, just like June said, can you take your music to the other room? So that it becomes a request. To the previous statement, Yakubi was asking, the what if the other person is heavily pregnant? That's why the tailor wanted to attend. So if you see that this is a situation, so these are extreme cases, okay? So you say that this is a situation, maybe this is an old man, a heavily pregnant person, somebody who is feeble, who you yourself can see that this person will have to hurry up and leave. I think with those one you can come to compromise. But in this case, the person is as energetic as you are. Maybe you are all just in hurry. You're in hurry, the person is in hurry. But there are no extremes over here. There's no heavy pregnancy or a very old person or a person with any physical disability. No, those are exceptional cases here. So in those aspects, well, in the training we've gone on disability to persons with disability are saying that sometimes we make them look or feel as if they can't do anything for themselves. Is the person saying that because they have a physical disability, they cannot go through the line or wait, or we tend to be helping them or giving help that they really don't want. So sometimes we rush to help these people while they don't actually need those helps. So before you help somebody, ask the person's opinion if that help they need it. Francisca said to the previous example, said, I will say hello. It is my turn, please. I'm also in a hurry. Francisca, this can bring confrontations. This can bring confrontations. Okay. So let's relook at it. Let's relook at it.
Okay, Sergio.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, about the music
Yes.
scenario.
Yes.
According to what you read out, it means that John is a boyfriend to the lady, right?
Yes.
So yeah, I want us to look at it in this way. Let's assume that they both do enjoy music.
Yes.
When they have their good times and all, they do enjoy music. At this time, the lady have an exam to write, right?
Yes.
So here, I want to assume the position of the lady.
Okay.
So I would say, dear John, I know we both love music.
Okay.
There are times when it is not played at the right place, in the right time, it becomes something else. And
Okay.
I'll be writing exam tomorrow.
Okay.
Can you please permit me to read
Okay.
so I can concentrate?
Okay. All right. I don't think this is bad, and you've actually appreciated the everything, and you've also communicated clearly to the person. So far as you are not attacking, I think so far as you are not attacking the person or commanding, because you're talking about coming to compromise over here. And I think one person, yes, that gifty, Adra Mensa, to the what you just said, she commented and said, I appreciate you making me happy, because maybe the boyfriend John was playing the music maybe to make the lady happy. Maybe that's the motive behind he playing a song. So Gifty says that she will appreciate that you are really making me happy with your music. Then now she's communicating, but I feel I needed a quiet space for learning. You see, I need a quiet space for learning. So Gift, you could have continued with the direct request now. You've acknowledged, you've communicated your feelings. Then you now come in with a request by saying that maybe if you can use the next room, or you use a headset, or whatever can make the environment conducive for learning. Famous is asking, said, what about if I'm younger than the person who crossed in reference to my first anger? Is it okay to say sorry? Well, if that is your way of being polite, fine. Some people even start their statement by the word sorry. So if that makes you feel okay about that, it's okay. There shouldn't be, it's not a fixed rule like that, but you're trying to say that our communication shouldn't bring about confrontations, or at the end of the day, you feeling guilty about it. So Famous, I think it's okay to start your statement that way, but the use of the sorry here doesn't mean that you're apologizing for anything, but you're just maybe starting with a respectful tone, which we can appreciate that. I want us to look at some do's and don'ts so that we bring the presentation to an end. So this is based on a book by Sharon and Gordon Bower. They have identified some strategies which we can practice to communicate assertively. And they came up with some do's and don'ts as well. So you can get that document. The title of it is Asserting Yourself. That's by Sharon and Gordon Bower. You can get it. So they have some 4 words. They call it the DISC or the DESC, DESC, which the D stands for describe, express, specify, and consequences. So let's try to go in and see. That is, if you want to communicate assertively using this model, the DESC model, let's see what they are saying. So let's take the D and E. So the D, which is describe. So in communicating, describe the behavior or situations as completely and objectively as possible. Just the fact. So communicate what you wanted to say, just the fact. The last time, so this is an example. The last time my brother George came to visit, I cleaned. So this is a statement which we'll be analyzing. The last time my brother George came to visit, I cleaned the entire house all by myself. So a statement like this, is this person communicating assertively or not? Let's look at. So the first aspect, you are saying that describe the behavior, situation, or as completely as possible. So this is, and just the fact. So the last time my brother George came to visit, I cleaned the entire house by myself. That's the description the person is giving. So the express your feelings and thought about the situation. So this situation that has come, we are saying that, so your brother came, but you clean the house all by yourself. What are you trying to communicate? Yeah, what the statement is kind of vague. So what happened? You are not communicating anything here. Try to phrase your statement using I and not you. Beginning sentence with you, so like as we said in the past, beginning sentences with you often put people on the defensive, which means they won't listen to you. As a result, I felt so with a statement, the last time George came to visit, I cleaned the entire house. As a result, I felt exhausted and angry. This is a statement this gentleman is communicating. But he wasn't specific about what he wanted. So he hasn't been specific. Specify what behavior outcome you would prefer to happen. So based on that statement, the appropriate thing, like, I would like the two of us to work on cleaning the house. So your brother came to visit and you clean the house alone. So what? Be specific on what you wanted. So you communicate to your brother, I would like the two of us to work on cleaning the house. And then the outcome or the consequences. Specify the consequences. That's both positive and negative. So in the same example, if we both work together, the house will be cleaned up faster and we can all enjoy his visit. Or if we work together, I will be less tired and irritable. So we are saying that per this model, we are saying you should describe the situation, express how you feel about the situation, be specific or specify what exactly you wanted, and then the consequences of what you wanted. So the do's and don'ts, just as the example that we just took, to describe the other person's behavior objectively. And don't describe your emotional reaction to it. So like angry, I'm angry, or I'm frustrated. Or no, you're saying that the person's behavior. Describe the other person's behavior objectively. Describe your emotional, don't describe your emotional reactions to it. Use concrete terms. Don't use abstract or vague terms. Describe a specified time, place, and frequency of the action. Don't make the thing so open that people don't know time limit they have to do something. Describe the action, not the motive. So the boyfriend who was playing the music, don't make it and say that you just want to disturb me, or you just want me to fail, or you just once you are trying to as if you know what the person is thinking, it will bring clashes over there. So it is the behavior, it's the music the person is playing, and not the motive. So don't guess the motive behind why the person is doing that. Maybe the person is not even aware you are studying. So the person just feel they are enjoying music. So don't think for the person for that will bring issue. So in describing the situation, you are saying that describe the behavior, use concrete terms, be specific, and describe the actions, not the motive behind it. And in expressing yourself, express your feelings, express them calmly, state feelings in a positive manner, direct yourself to the specific offending behavior, not the whole person. So it's the music that is distracting you, not the person. It's not the person that is distracting, but it's the music that is distracting you. So communicate clearly that, or express that it's the music, your music will not help me to concentrate. So I'm unable to concentrate with loud music, or I'm unable to study with loud music. So you communicate this clearly. Don't attack the entire character of the person. Don't state negative feelings, or don't unleash your emotions on the person. So in specifying, ask explicitly for change in the person's behavior. Don't, not just by making mere statements, merely imply that you would, like the statement that some of the comments you've read, you just left the statement hanging. You've acknowledged, you express how you feel, but you're not telling us what exactly you wanted. So be specific on what you want from the person. And then request a small change. Don't ask for too large a change. Something that can just bring about, either the person lowers the sound, use the earpiece, or they can just use the next room. That will help. Request only 1 or 2 changes at a time. Specify the action you wish to see stop. Take account of whether the person can meet your request without suffering large losses. So you should also think of the person. You say, think of the person's rights as well. What you're asking them to do, is it going to hurt them in any way? Is it going to affect them in any way? Let us know about that. So it's not only about what you will feel, but also think about the other person. Then specify what you are willing to change to make agreement. Don't only consider that only the other person has to change. Sometimes you too can change. So if you can actually change the environment, fair enough. The consequences, make the consequences explicitly. Give positive reward for change. So you can say, if the person has changed, and say thank you. Thank you is a positive reward you are giving to the person. You can say thank you for at least doing what I wish. Select manageable rewards and punishment for outcomes. So these are practical examples. So so these are examples. So with the descriptions, what the poor script and the better script. So this is the poor one. You never do your part of the group assignment on time. Using the you over there, it's like you are commanding the person or giving the person can protest or anything. So you are saying that instead of saying that you never do your part of the assignment on time, you can rather say your part of the group project was due today and I didn't receive it. You haven't received it. So you are communicating to the person that his part of the assignment is due, but you haven't received it. The second one, expressing. So whether you tell you what a thought is about, what exactly is wrong with you, what's up with you. You are so lazy. You're trying to express your feelings. You're saying no. The better way is I feel irritated and frustrated when I am waiting on your work. I need it to be able to finish my part of the group assignment. Then be specific. Don't say, when are you going to get your work done? Instead, you can put it, I would like to have your work in by no later than this Friday. You've communicated and be as specific on when you needed it. And then the last, on the consequences. Don't say, if you continue to miss group deadline, we'll kick you out of the group. You can say, if you can meet deadline, we'll all be able to get our work in on time and not get a penalty for lateness. All this is to ensure that you're able to communicate without emotions rising up. And this is gotten from Bowa's book on asserting yourself. When you get it, there are more examples in there that you can consider. Yes, so this is my last slide. And I think I have some comments here.
Yeah, so you.
Okay, I'm coming. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, you can speak, please. Yes, please, I
You
can.
said?
Yes, I can hear
Yeah,
you, please.
yeah. With assertive communication, I want to cite some two personalities here.
Okay.
Then I would like you to actually explain what type or kind of communication is that. It's about this Dr. Zato and then one Solomon. If you are a fan of TV3, you see these two guys. So always I've been blaming Dr. Zato, knowing very well that he is an academia and might know most of these things, but he doesn't exhibit them. I don't know if you are familiar with them.
But what specific does he do?
Now, you talk about raising the voice in terms of communicating,
Okay.
and
Yes.
also,
So from your analysis, when you see this characters doing those things, so with the knowledge from today, how will you, where will you rate them? Is this person speaking aggressively, manipulative, submissive? Where will you place this person?
I think aggressive and then manipulative.
Good. So these are things, so this is very good able to get these practical examples, because he could have expressed his opinions without one raising
Yeah,
his voice, just speak his mind, what he thinks about whatever is being discussed.
yeah.
But attacking the other person, pointing fingers at the other person, raising your voice, you are just being manipulative, or you are just communicating aggressively.
Mhm.
But you see, sometimes you can also consider some other aspects here. In our
Yeah.
part of this continent, if I should put it as such, politics is like who has the loudest mouth. So sometimes,
Okay.
we can be looking at it from that perspective. This is politics these guys are doing. So
Yeah.
the person with the loudest noise is heard, or the person with the loud argument is heard. So we may not just single that and then declare this person as though they are aggressive. Maybe so we should look at the context in which the situation is happening. But that behavior where you will be communicating with loud voice, not trying to express your candid opinion, but you're trying to blame the other person, making the other person look bad, making the other person feel bad, it is not, that is manipulation or being aggressive. We are saying in assertiveness, when you in your communication, you also consider the right of the other person. You consider the feelings of the other person. What you say, how will the person feel about what you've said? If you are using foul words on this person, how will the person feel? When the person, if the person gets angry with the word you are using, when the person come at you, if the person come at you, how are you going to handle it? So that's sometimes on some of those panels, it becomes a whole confusion where everybody is talking and there's noise everywhere, where the listeners at the end of the day don't even know who is talking. But that is politics, so we can't talk too much about that. But so now that we are learning this, if you see yourself on a panel, your audience will respect you if you speak calmly. So if you can see people who are on the same panel who speak calmly, we tend to listen to them more and appreciate what they say than the person who is being aggressive. Unless you, the person listening, you're also the aggressive type, then you'll be enjoying the aggression as such. So it's very
Mm-hmm.
good. We are seeing some of these things in our societies, and now going forward, if people are communicating, we can draw the lines and know who is being manipulative, know who is being aggressive, know who is being passive aggressive, or who is being passive over here. And thank you for drawing our attention to that. Yes. So there are some responses to the previous examples, the practical examples. Gifty is saying, she would have said, I appreciate you making me happy, but I feel I needed a quiet space for learning. So can you use your headset to create a quiet environment? Perfect. Perfectly. I don't think this person will argue with you when you put a statement like this. Then I'm sure should be Sabina. Sab says, I understand you are enjoying your music. That's acknowledge John's needs. Yes, perfect. Then expressing your needs, but I have exams and really need to focus. You've expressed your needs clearly. Then the request comes, please lower the volume or use the headphone. And that is really appreciated over here. So offer a specific reasonable request or direction. I would appreciate your support right now. Invite cooperation respectfully. Thank you so much. And this is very helpful tips as well. Uh, yes. So I think those are the comments I have. Yeah, so in the next 5 minutes, if you have questions, other contributions, please, let's get interactive. Assertiveness. I think I've read all the comments now. So you can raise your hand. You can equally type and we'll read for you.
Okay, Sergio.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please. I want to know if you will be sharing the slides with us.
You can reach out to me. However, the recording should be shared. But if you need a slide,
Okay.
you can reach out to me and we'll work on it.
No problem. No problem. I'm very grateful.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yes, Sap. Sap. Your hand is up. We can speak.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Jones. That was brilliant. But I just wanted to share how I learned assertiveness
That's fine.
because I got to know that assertiveness isn't aggressiveness. And so anytime I am speaking, I'm trying to, voice out my thoughts or anything. I always have it, it's like a bell ringing at the back of my mind. If you are assertive, you shouldn't be aggressive. Assertiveness is not aggressiveness. So this has been my measure. It really guides me when I notice that I am maybe swinging or I am trying to raise my voice a bit. It kind of brings me back into perspective. And so I just want to say that if you really want to understand what assertiveness is, learn the opposite. Then it makes it clearer anytime you are trying to practicalize it, or anytime you see someone talking and you want to deduce something from the person, whether the person is being assertive or just opening up and then talking. This has helped, and I hope it will help someone on the call. Thank you very much and have
Yeah.
a good evening.
Thank you very much. And definitely it's going to help someone as well. Being assertive doesn't mean you should be aggressive. All right, better. Your hand is up.
Yes, thank you for this presentation. I've really learned a lot. But I mean, before learning this, I might had this problem. When you are dealing with people, especially when you have a bossy, your boss is bossy, and also talk on top of his voice. You know, some of us, we are not used to louder voice when you are speaking with us. So sometimes when you have this person always getting on your nerves and talking on top of his voice, I mean, sometimes it affects our assertive behaviors. It has been an issue for me at the workplace. Thank you. I've learned a lot, but I wish there could be more you would add to it.
Yes, so
Thank you.
thank you. So it's one thing knowing about these things. So now we appreciate that people who are aggressive will make the other person, people who are manipulative and aggressive will make the other person feel bad. So the boss who through his or her communication makes you feel bad, makes you feel less of yourself. In this case, we can say this person is manipulating. It's not about you, but it's about how the person is communicating. So now that you have gotten this knowledge now, it will help you know how to respond back. So as they speak aggressively to you, you become, listen, and speak assertively. Keep your tone, keep your mood. Now you know this person is just aggressive. This person is just manipulative. Some people, that is their nature, which you can't really change them. So as you are learning to be assertive, so that times where you have to say no, you are no longer feeling guilty by saying no to some of the requests, but you communicate this no in a way where he or she will understand you. But if it is because they raise their voice on you, you are shaky, and so everything is yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, you end up being stressed or even get into burnout. So,
Yes.
so now you will have to strategize how one you even communicate, how you even make your request, how you make, and learn to know your rights as well. Know that you have the right to say your mind. You have the right to say your mind. You have the right to express how you feel about a situation.
Okay.
And you have the right to equally change your mind on things. So once you're able to also know this right, which is guiding you, so you are saying that you have the right to ask for what you want. Always know that. So don't feel guilty when you're asking for what you, if you know it is time for you to go on break. You have the right, and it's like there's more work. You have the right to ask or to request that you want to go on break. I feel hungry. So please, I want to go to break. Or I want to go and get something to eat. You've spoken, you've expressed how you feel, and you made your request clearly. You are hungry, for that matter, you want to go and eat. Your leave is due. You've fixed the time, and if not, that may be there's a necessity for you to stay back. But they are not just being allowed to go. You should be able to express yourself. So you have the right to ask for what you want. And you are saying that you have the right to say no to requests or demands that you can't meet. So don't feel
Okay.
bad, don't feel guilty, don't feel less of yourself if you are saying no to some of these things, because it is your right. But you are communicating these things in a way that is not going to be confrontational. So keep your composure. So we are the three things about acknowledge, express your feelings, make your request. Or sometimes even you can, we said in saying no, you have the opportunity, you have the right, you have the opportunity to ask for time to go and think about the request. You are not obliged to make the decision there and now when you are not sure of the decision. Go and think through, come back with your response. If the response should be no, let the person know you're going to think through this, and yes response will not help you.
Okay.
And express, let the person understand it as simple as that. I don't think if you express assertively, it shouldn't lead to dismissing you because you've communicated clearly. You haven't actually used any words that will also go and bring up other emotions. So you have the right to express all your feelings, whether you feel positive about a thing or you feel negative about it. You have the right to express it. And at the same time, you have the right to change your mind. Yes, you agreed to this thing, but this time around, I'm going to think through it, and I think I don't need it any longer. You have the right to do that. So it's not because you've already committed yourself, like, oh, I've already committed myself, and there's nothing I can do about it. We are learning this evening that you have the right to change your mind. You also have the right to make mistakes because we are humans, and humans, we are not perfect. So sometimes we make mistakes and we feel like the world is crashing on us. No, you are not machine. You are not robots. So if you make a mistake, just learn from it. And next time you improve upon it. That is it. You don't feel so guilty because of it. And mistakes are things that happen unintentionally. So if you were to do it intentionally, that one is a different case. But you didn't plan it. You didn't mean that this thing should go this way. It was a mistake that happened. So, and you are not robots. Even robots make mistake. Robots make mistake. If you like there are some things you put it, you give it to AI will give you wrong answers. So it's not always everything AI gives to us that is correct. That I have to go and verify, cross-check, go into the literature to be sure this thing is right. So far as those things can make mistakes, humans can equally make mistakes. So you shouldn't feel bad when mistakes happen. And you have the right to follow your values. You know what you believe in. So you have the right to follow them. And you have your own priorities. You also
Yeah.
have to make time for yourself. Self-care is also important. You have the right to make time for yourself. You create your personal space and enjoy your personal space. So knowing some of these things will help you to live with this person who is manipulative in nature. That will prevent you from the stress that it comes with. I hope this helps.
Sure. Sure. Thanks so much.
Yeah, miss. But if someone
Yeah.
want to add up to it, yes, Sabina.
Yes, you well said. Thank you very much for that response. I just want to add a few to it that
Yes,
you even mentioned it, that assertiveness usually works better with self-care
yes,
and anger management. So if you work on yourself, take good care of yourself, know your values, like you said, appreciate who you are. It helps you to be very assertive because you know yourself. I always say that you only give what you have. You cannot share what you don't have. So love yourself, believe in yourself, trust in yourself. So when someone is being manipulative around you, because you know who you are, your worth and value, and you nurture yourself, you are able to respond in a tone that is very, very great because you're going to articulate going to communicate to yourself in a assertive way by the guidelines that we have learned this evening. So let's pay attention that to be assertive requires that you manage yourself and you manage your anger and then also take good care of yourself. It's very, very important because if your emotions are not well regulated,
Thank you. Thank you.
every little trigger, would let you flare up, kind of. So please let's pay attention to that aspect of ourselves. Well, thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. So and then the sister who asks the question, you should also know that sometimes if you are going through a lot of stress, sometimes you get easily irritated. So some things
Yeah.
that ideally shouldn't have been irritated will cause you to be irritated. So sometimes you have to catch that break. Know that maybe your stress level is getting high. So know that and make time for rest, make time for break, and go and re-energize yourself and come back. So that self-care is very important. Okay. Yes. Thank you very much, Madam Sabana, for the contributions as well. Yes. So please, the floor is still open. Any contributions or questions? Well, okay. At the moment, there are no hands up. So I want to I appreciate that we are okay. I'll share the recordings and the slides to once you reach out to me, I'll make it available to you. So let me thank the Ghana Growth Project lead, Madam Claudia, who is our host. I appreciate her. We also have the lead psychologist for the Ghana Growth Project. She joined briefly and left. Anita, we acknowledge your presence. And we thank every other person that joined us. I can see our former Madam Joy, our former national PRO, Madam Enima Debra. Thanks for joining us this evening.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening. It's been long.
So, thank you. I enjoyed the presentation. Thank you for the good work done.
We are glad, Mumi. All right. So thank you. And we are hoping that next week will come your way once again with other topics. So someone wanted to get my contact so they can receive the slide. So I'm sharing my contact in the chat. You can reach out to me on WhatsApp and get it. Okay, thank you and have a good week. All right. So you can equally join the platform for the Care Center, Ghana Growth, a Springboard and MasterCard Foundation project. You can join. So the organizer has shared the WhatsApp link, the WhatsApp group link. You can join where we share daily tips over there. So you can join us as well. Thank you. All right, so please do have a good evening and a good night. Bye-bye.